Hello, welcome back. This is your Transformers Hot Takes. I'm Bots Obsession, and I'm joined by the wonderful, the amazing, dumb Jake.
Whoa, thanks. I'm wonderful and amazing.
You got that cute
I
little
didn't know
dinosaur guy?
that. Yeah.
He might be wonderful and amazing. You're still up in the
Oh.
air.
Oh, okay. I'll
um,
prove myself.
we've gathered 15 hot takes for you today. I pulled these from the Bots Obsession Discord as well as the comments on the community tab. Tried to remove basically anything that's X show sucks, X toy line sucks, because we've seen those enough. They're not interesting.
They all suck. Hot take. Transformers suck. Can I just say before we start that I am a certified hater of hot takes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they're the stupidest thing.
That's crazy, because you asked for this one, if I recall.
I know.
You asked me, you're like, when can I be in the next one?
I know. I just want to be in a video.
Our first one here is from Tidal Wave. It says, the Walmart exclusive collections are a good idea. They just need to be in more stores. I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's a distribution problem.
Yeah, I don't. What's the take here? Is that they're a good idea? Do people think they're bad or something?
I was gonna say, I
guess.
feel like G2 is maybe has gotten a little bit more scrutiny lately. But everyone seemed to like the Star Seekers, and Velocitron was, hit or miss. It just depended on if there was anyone in that line you liked.
I love that Override figure. I have that one.
I like it. I think I talked about this in another one. I like it as a deluxe, but it's an awful Voyager.
I love the boxes though for that Velocitron collection. How they were in vehicle mode.
Yeah.
Bring back vehicle mode packaging, bruh.
For real. That's
what
like
I want.
That's like the saddest part is like Velocitron had like the best packaging, and then G2 had like at least it looked cool, and then the Star Seekers are just like, yeah, it's like another wave.
Yeah. Which I mean I guess that makes sense. I don't know, like wouldn't it make more sense to make the Star Seekers like special packaging so they stand out and like are like,
right?
ooh, what's that? Like,
yeah.
I don't like. I guess I can see the logic in both ways, but I don't know. I think cooler packaging makes me want something more. It made me want that Override more.
Alrighty. Our next one here comes from Kachowskin, which is, we need more reissues of figures from previous lines, like the Beast Wars reissue.
So like classic reissue sort of thing.
I
like
think so.
Beast Wars.
I think this is like referring to more like getting Armada and Energon reissues. Like I think this is anything but G1. I think is what he's trying to say here.
Yeah.
Which like, hey, if they want to reissue that RID-01 Megatron and Scourge and all those characters, I'm here for it.
On this one, I would absolutely love Armada figures. I feel like that's a few years down the line for reissues, though, if we just got Beast Wars stuff a few years ago. But I kind of want, on the other hand, I want reissues of more recent figures as well. Like, like they're doing Cosmos reissue and a few other exclusives, right? Like Shuttle, Galaxy Shuttle.
Yeah.
But like, there's some figures that are just hard as hell to find. Oh, yeah. I know this person.
Yeah, this one's from Maca. This one says, extra 5mm ports on War for Cybertron and Legacy alt modes do more harm than good. And that it I'm kind of paraphrasing here, and that it compromises the vehicle mode for a gimmick. I'm a big proponent of enjoying the weaponizer era. I feel like Legacy is hitting the point where we're starting to see less and less of the 5mm ports. Like, we're not in the Siege era where they're just covered in them. Like, I was checking one of the Legacy figures the other day. I don't remember who, but it didn't have 5mm ports in the feet. And I was like, oh my god, we're moving away from 5mm ports. Holy crap.
Bruh, I want fossilizers back.
Oh,
I never got those.
I was just messing around with Skelevor the other day, and I posted a photo of it on Instagram, and they are so much fun. It makes me regret, like, because I got rid of almost all of them aside from the Wrecker ones and the purple guy, and I kind of miss them now. But at the same time, it's like I feel like I can't justify having them in my collection.
I want that purple bastard so bad.
Oh, he's so
I
cool,
also want
dude.
the, what was it? Transmutate one, which I thought was a clever way to do that character.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it felt like the old classics where they just like invent something new to
Yeah.
represent someone old. For this take, I kind of agree. Like I feel like 5 millimeter ports. It's a cool gimmick, but
Hmm.
I don't think that many people were utilizing it to like being for real.
I don't think I delved into it until the fossilizers came out. And then I was like, okay, well, these are weird. Let me see what I can do with these.
On the same hand though, I come from like Armada, that's like my childhood one, and those guys were just covered in minicon ports.
I agree with like how unintrusive they are, or that like we've had the same issue as time has progressed. Because like even looking at like Energon and Cybertron, those guys also have like, CyberKey ports or Minicon ports or Energon Star ports or like
Yeah.
5 millimeter connections or like nubs to like hook other weapons onto them. Like every toy line has a gimmick, and I think if the trade off for getting like pretty accurate stuff in mainline is like, oh no, they have 5 millimeter ports on their legs, arms, and feet, and one on the back to attach backpack accessories. I think this is okay. This next one comes from King Mio in the Discord. It says the secondhand market can be very exploitative. Not always, but it has its moments. And then it talks. She goes on to talk about scalpers and how people can't find things at retail, and that people will end up needing to pay double or even triple before shipping and taxes. So I guess this is saying like the secondhand market is like toxic. Do you have a? Do
Yeah.
you have a? Yes.
I mean, it's just capitalism. Like, I I think it sucks, but honestly, you couldn't expect different behavior from the independent sellers. Like, if
Yeah.
something's low on supply and people want it, the price is gonna go up. Boring answer, but that's
Yeah.
unfortunately just how it works.
We mentioned this in another hot takes video, but like this is a luxury item. Being a toy collector is a luxury. So
Oh yeah,
as we
definitely.
see, yeah, as we see things inflate, it's just going to be a bigger and bigger problem and a bigger and bigger cost to not only get into collecting but also maintain being a collector. That's why I think if you are a collector, you should try and find like a state group or a friend group where you can send and mail each other things for cheaper than or like
Yeah.
get deals and things between each other.
But this hot take kind of goes hand in hand with the reissue. Like reissues could
Yeah.
solve this issue
I totally agree. I think
for
that
sure.
this one and the reissue one do kind of piggyback off each other. I like this one just because of how like simple and silly it is. Tarn doesn't need his backup dancers. He's fine without them. Yeah, I hate the DJD.
I haven't read the comic book, but I have read the plot synopsis on TF Wiki,
Yeah.
so I vaguely understand the DJD. One of them turns into an electric chair, right?
Yes. I think that's Kaon.
How is that not fucking funny? Like,
Dude,
how would you not want that? Like,
I
I just want a guy that turns into an electric chair, right?
Kingdom Tracks / Road Rage is good, and then they go on to explain that it's a little fiddly, but the transformation isn't nearly as bad as some of the other War for Cybertron guys, with the example being Siege Springer.
I hate Siege Springer.
Oh, thank God someone else agrees with me.
I just could not get him to transform correctly. Like,
He
I could
sucks
not
so
get him into
much.
car mode. Like,
He's so
what the
bad.
hell? My hottest take. My hottest take. I don't even like Springer that much, in general.
Oh, like as a character, like you're like, oh, he's stupid.
Yeah. What's there to like about it?
He's
What's
a wrecker.
his defining character trait?
He's
I
handsome.
never read that.
I think
He
that's
is
his. I think that's his
He
trait.
does have kissable lips. I have no opinion on this Trax thing. I've never had that figure.
I agree with this just because like I love Tracks and I actually think the mold's not bad. Road Rage is definitely the better one though because they fixed the tolerances. LordGig says a hot take: the G2 faction symbols are less iconic, but they are cooler. I like the G2 faction symbols.
Boo! I hate this take. I think they're fine, but they're not better. No way are they better.
Whoa!
I would say maybe the Autobot symbol is a little bit better, maybe, because it looks like Optimus.
Yeah.
And I could see them making the symbol look like Optimus, but I don't like Decepticon.
I'm kind of the opposite. I don't like the fact it looks more like Optimus Prime. Like
Really?
you pointed that out and I went, "Oh, I hate that." Like
I'd say the Maximal and Predacon logos are on par with the original G1 logos to me.
they're pretty iconic. I like how different they are too. And like I feel like the Predacon one could have had like fangs instead of being a bug, but the Maximal logo kind of describes everything it needs to be because it's like really sharp and it's like a cat face, it's like a tiger face. I like it.
Yeah.
That one's really
they have,
solid.
Like the same vibe as the original.
I'd agree to that. I feel like the G2 ones almost feel like knockoff symbols. Like if someone showed me like a G2 symbol and I was, I got hit with one of those Men in Black memory flashers and was like, these are the Transformers logos, I'd be like, are you sure? Oh yeah, this one's just for the thumbnail. We don't have to talk about this one too much, but
no, I fucking agree. I 100% agree with this hot take. This isn't even a hot take. This is true.
Dude, he posted this in the Discord and I replied to it saying like, this isn't for iceberg takes, this is for hot takes. But yeah, no, we had like 5 guys like join the Discord, which I'm gonna tell this story publicly now because this is the dumbest thing and these are the biggest fucking losers I've ever ran across. So we had a group of like 5 dudes join the Discord just to like start arguments with people, and so they all lasted about, let's say, 10 minutes to a day in the server before I was like, get the hell out of my server, and I banned them because all they did was start arguments and start bullshit. And I asked one of them, I was like, why'd you even join the server? And then he sent me a gif of a fat woman putting her stomach on the top of Warhammer minis and then said, you have been attacked by the Anti-Chug Coalition. And I was like, how fucking lame do you have to be that your like evil cabal is, I'm gonna join some YouTuber's server and just start arguments?
First of all, it should be anti-chuggle.
Anti-chuggle.
I've established that chug should be called chuggle now, thanks to Legacy. Yeah, the anti-chugglers, that sounds insane. What does that even mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What do they like?
What's your goal?
Chug now.
How much of a loser do you have to be that you can't let other people be happy? I like this take a lot. This was a cool take, and I remember seeing it and thinking like, this has to go in, which is modern Transformers media, the higher quality of storytelling is directly proportionate to the lower quality of the toys. Examples: Cyberverse is a good show but has poor toys. War for Cybertron is a bad show and has the best toys. Yeah, I think this is also like coincided with like Revenge of the Fallen having like the best toy line, but is also the worst of the Bayverse movies.
Yeah.
There's a weird yeah, there's a weird correlation here.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say about this besides, yeah, it's kind of weird.
It is a weird correlation, like giving it more thought. The exception to the rule here is obviously Beast Wars. So this is a really long one, but the gist of it, the TLDR, is that the Hasbro is focusing more on pushing the media associated with Transformers and less on the toy line itself. I don't know if they're pushing the toy line, but I do like pushing the media over the toy line, but I do know the fact that like we haven't really gotten like a toy commercial for like the Generations line since Siege, I think.
Kingdom had one.
Okay.
Siege, Earthrise, and Kingdom all have commercials.
Yeah. I don't think Legacy does. I mean, they do. I know that Hasbro has been doing more of a social media push when it comes to the toys. There's a lot more of interaction from not only the designers, but they also do those like stop motion skits that they did for like 80s week. They're doing stuff to promote the toys. It's just not in the traditional commercial sense. And I'd have to guess that it's because more people are streaming, more people are indulging in social media than they are actual like cable television.
Yeah. It begs the question: why can't they just make like a traditional toy commercial for streaming?
Yeah.
Interesting. This person points out Earthspark and Cyberverse because they're two of the cartoons, and the cartoons, they exist in a weird place right now in the brand. They're not a part of Generations, but besides the cartoons, or like I guess the movie now, like everything is Generation. So
Yeah.
like they're just kind of the odd ones out, and I don't know. I remember a time, like the movie and the animated, like and even Armada, like all the toys would like be in the same line at the same time. Like all the Armada stuff is Armada.
Yeah.
Um and it's easy to tell, and it's like, and like the designs are consistent throughout unless it had like a little bit of a brand change, like the Unicron Wars or whatever.
Um
Yeah.
but I do think that part of it might be part of the reason that they don't do these big swathing movie lines is because of studio series. They don't need to anymore.
Yeah.
When they can just dump it in
True.
studio series and get the budget they need to make them right. The first three Bay films tell a better story than 86. I find outside of nostalgia and new characters, the movie tells a very cliche protagonist destined for greatness story. Which,
Agree.
I mean, in fairness, like 86 is a very that movie moves at lightning speed. Like it gives you whiplash how fast some of the stuff happens in it. But at the same time, what's the story of Transformers 1 to Dark of the Moon? What's the story there?
Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't say. Okay, I take back my agree. I would say that I think the 86 movie is not that good of a story. I think after the first 30 minutes, after Optimus dies, basically, like, I check out.
Oh yeah, like you're just there for it's like Bumblebee, you're just there for the first 5 minutes.
A little bit. Like, and it's not because I'm not interested, it's just like the story isn't that fun to me. Like, Unicron's cool, but Treebot is right. It is very cliche, and Rodimus, as much as I like Rodimus, he's not that good of a protagonist.
Yeah,
in that movie anyway.
It kind of feels like not that it's not that Rodimus is the protagonist, but it almost feels like Daniel is more of a protagonist, or like
Right.
Ultra Magnus's group is the main story a lot of times, or even like or even that you're following Galvatron more so than you're following the Autobots, because you have two different groups of Autobots that Galvatron is hunting down. So it almost feels like you're following the antagonist sometimes, and maybe that's why I like Galvatron a lot more than most of those other characters. I agree with 86 having a fairly boring story. I think it's fun though, specifically like the Junkions are really fun. I like the world building that happens in it, but that's also like I kind of like it's more so I like the aftershocks of that movie than I do the epicenter of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I've told this story on the podcast before, but I had the VHS where Optimus Prime comes back to life.
Oh, whoa.
When I was a kid, but I never watched the movie before that. So I was like, why is this man dead? I was like, I guess he's dead before he shows up in the show, because I had no concept of it.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't like figure out what a season of a TV show was at that age, but
yeah.
I was just like, okay, I guess Optimus is dead and he comes back and he's just this beast.
Since we're kind of roasting the 86 storyline, I will take every and any opportunity to talk about how absurd the Bay films are. The first one is let's find the MacGuffin. The second one is we have to find the MacGuffin to stop a different MacGuffin. And the third one is, oh no, he took our MacGuffin.
Yeah.
It's I do think that the third Dark of the Moon is the best one, and I think it tells the most interesting story.
Yeah.
I find that one to be and there's a lot of really good parts of Dark of the Moon. I'll defend that one as much as I can, but it still isn't great, and it does to Chicago an awful amount of damage that when we get to the fourth movie and everyone's like, the government's like if you see a transformer, kill it. If you see robots that turn into cars, blow them up. They're gone. They're illegal.
Like 12 9/11s happened to Chicago in Dark.
Yeah, it's insane. Shockwave
Like,
shows
there's
up with a
just
worm and is like, I'm ruining it. I'm ruining the day. But yeah, no, yeah, I think both of their stories suck.
Yeah.
I think both stories suck. I think 86 just gets away with it.
Oh yeah. Big time.
Oh whoa. Oh, okay. This yeah, Burger King. Burger King had a good one though. I like this part. He so this is a pretty long hot take, but ostensibly it says right here, the most important of any Transformer design is the head and upper torso, saying that most people will accept a figure regardless of accuracy as long as the head and the torso is correct. And I think I'm going to add on to this a little bit. I think the vehicle mode is also important to a lesser degree, but I think the vehicle mode is also, as long as it's still like a sports car, a helicopter, I think people give it a pass if the character was supposed to be that vehicle, that class of vehicle. And
yeah,
I kind of agree with this because I'm very much open to new takes where like if they come out with a figure and it's a character I want, like Cannonball just came out recently, and he's accurate in the way that his gimmicks work. He's accurate in his head sculpt and his vehicle mode, but his chest and like a bunch of other stuff that's not what Cannonball looks like. That's not what the original looked like at all. But I mean, it's a great toy and it's Cannonball, so I love it. I'm excited. That's epic. Same thing with Road Pig. Road Pig has the correct chest detailing and head, and he everything else is wrong, but he's so good that who cares?
Yeah, I guess I agree. I've never really thought about it like that, but
Right?
I guess it makes sense. Like, their limbs are usually extraneous blocks anyway, so it's like... I mean, Optimus kind of has iconic legs.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like, his legs are almost always really similar.
Yeah, I think this isn't necessarily for core characters, maybe. Like, you know, they're never gonna do this kind of treatment to, like, Bumblebee or Prime. For some reason, they seem okay with doing it to Megatron, though.
Yeah, Megatron's weird, right? Like, he doesn't have a set down design a lot of the... Like, he's got elements for sure, his bucket hat and you know, the gray color, but
his cannon.
He's looked a lot different.
Yeah.
A lot of different continuities.
All right, so I'm putting these two together just because they're pretty similar. Which is G.I. Joe is cool and G2 color schemes are cool. G.I. Joe is cool now because Skybound touched it. Like, Cobra Commander and Duke are pretty good, but I think G.I. Joe is a product of its time. It came out like right after Vietnam, or at least the original show did. And I feel like it's not like a lot of people have a lot of opinions on the American military industrial complex.
Yeah. I like G.I. Joe actually before it was cool and in Skybound. And before the Classified series, which really got popular.
Yeah, shockingly. I was a G.I. Joe kid when I was young.
Yeah.
I liked Valor versus Venom. I was one of them.
I got into it with the Rise of the Cobra movie.
Oh, okay.
I love that toy line. Like I said, I like different designs, so I like the Cobra Commander from that movie. The coolest part to G.I. Joe to me is all the ninja shit.
Yeah!
And all, like all the characters, like the whole thing about G.I. Joe is it's like one guy and he's really good at his job. And that's like every character in G.I. Joe.
Yep.
And I like that.
I was always a fan of, I like Tunnel Rat. Tunnel Rat was my favorite.
Yeah.
And Beachhead. Those were my two guys. Because Tunnel Rat was like an explosives expert. He was like an espionage explosives expert. And then I think Beachhead was like I think he was a landmine guy. I don't remember.
He had the mask. He had a ski mask.
Yeah, he has the balaclava, the green balaclava on. G2 color schemes are cool. No, they're not. They're ugly.
They're very tacky.
I
don't know.
I hate the G2 combiners. I really do. Like I there's some G2 stuff that is cool. Like there's some G2 color redos that are cool. Like the mini bots. The mini bots are neat, but a lot of them are just like, why are they blue? Why are they orange now?
Why are you white?
Why do you look like that?
I don't really care about G2.
Yeah,
sorry, G2 heads. Sorry.
The only ones I care about currently, the only G2 guys in my collection I have are like the new toy characters from G2.
Right.
I don't care about any of the G1 guy recolors. They're all hideous. So this has a few on it, but the main thing I wanted to talk about on this one, this comes from channel member Twisterlock, is this third one right here. The Legacy G1ifications aren't terrible. They have their own design than the universe or media they come from. And I would agree with this if we were still like in Legacy Year 1. But as we've hit Legacy United, and even to a degree Legacy Evolution, we've seen Hasbro listen to the fans and listen to the feedback and make these designs more accurate and still fit in like on the shelf. Like I'm looking at Cyberverse Windblade and the animated guys next to like the Star Seekers, and they all look like they all fit in together. They all look good together. However,
so is this saying the G1ification is good?
Yes, this is saying the G1 the G1 style. I don't think it's saying it's good. I think it's saying that it's its own take.
Oh yeah.
Which is, I mean, like obviously it has to be.
Yeah.
The problem I've actually noticed with Legacy, and I've mentioned this a few times to others, is that like we're hitting a point with Legacy where they've smoothed out a lot of the details, so whenever we see like a Siege or Earthrise mold get reused, it stands out a lot more.
Oh yeah.
And like
the greebling goes crazy.
Yeah, like I was looking at my Diaclone shelf the other day, and I was like, wow, some of these guys look really weird next to each other.
I don't know how I feel about it, because animated Prime looks perfect to me.
He does.
As an animated fan, but animated Bumblebee doesn't hit the right notes for me at all in robot mode.
Okay, he's still like, I like that as a toy, but there is something. He's not Prowl or Optimus where they look like a dead ringer.
Yeah.
Like, and I know Prowl's a little bit off, but Prowl has all the same cues.
He's got the same proportions mostly. Yeah. Like
everything there like, to be Prowl is there.
Bumblebee unfortunately is small, so like I think that's the issue. Like they just had to make a really small character and hard to like get some of those animated nuances, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I'm glad they went like all out with his animated head. Like that's good.
The head's good. The vehicle mode is perfect to me.
Yep,
that's why
I like
keep
the vehicle.
Him in his vehicle mode.
Yeah, I agree. The robot's a little generic. Like I mean, it has similar things like the vehicle mode front being on his shoes and the windshield hood top of car chest is correct, but yeah, I agree. There's some stuff. I think it's like the arms. I think the arms are throwing it for me.
Yeah. The angles just aren't right. Like animated Prime gets all the angles correct.
Yeah,
which I think is really important to animated. All G1ifications are not equal, right? Like Armada Prime is Armada Prime. That guy has not been changed at all.
Well, you look at the Cybertron guys too. I don't know, dude. Yeah. I don't know who at Takara has a boner for Cybertron and is like, I'm making them all hot now. But let him cook. Let him cook, man. He's winning over there. And then the Armada guys are basically untouched. Like they're just there.
Yeah, I bought the Hot Shot that came out recently.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this bastard is just the original toy. Like,
yeah, he's so close.
A single thing.
Yeah, his backpack is different, and that's like it. And he has ankles.
And then you look at Prime RC, and you're like, what the actual hell?
Like, it's like, how did we get here?
All the Prime characters got. Well, Cliff Jumper looks okay. I haven't played with him, but he looks all right from pictures. But
he's great.
Bulkhead and RC, I hate how they look, especially Bulkhead, because people sub him in as animated Bulkhead, and That is not animated Bulkhead. I don't know who that man is, but he's not Bulkhead.
It's just like a Generations Bulkhead, you know? I feel like they could
Yeah.
have just said, like, hey, this is Legacy Bulkhead, and everyone would have been like, oh, that's cool. But
Yeah,
instead, they
it's
they
like-
called him Prime Bulkhead, and it's like, now he's bad.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah, he's a prime Bulkhead for sure.
he's a good bulkhead. He's a good bulkhead. He's just a bad anything else bulkhead.
Yeah.
If you
It
if you
is a little bit like classics, like Onslaught, or
yeah,
just like a new take.
he's just his own guy, and I like him. I put him with my animated dudes because we don't have an animated bulkhead, but
Yeah.
and I don't like
I
Prime, so
I think it's weird that they try and fit them all into the same aesthetic.
yeah.
Like G1 looks like G1 because that's what the cartoon looked like. So why shouldn't I be able to have, a Bumblebee that looks just like the cartoon Bumblebee?
All right, I think our next one is our last one.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is a Transformers 1 take. He's talking about how Transformers 1 visuals are good, but they look really generic. And that he thinks that part of the reason that Transformers 1 is kind of flopping in the box office is because it looks bland and generic. I think that there's a few other reasons that Transformers 1 is failing at the box office. Mainly the advertising was really bad. That first trailer sucked. And on top of that, like, despite the fact that fans are saying, like, hey, this is a great movie, go see this movie, I also think another reason is because it's only been released in America so far, like globally. That might have changed. There might have been an international release yet, but right now it's
Comes
just
out in the UK weekend.
okay. Yeah, so it's not so us saying like, oh my god, it's bombing, it's failing. It's failing domestically, which, to be fair, like, it came out a little bit after Beetlejuice did, and I'll be real, Beetlejuice is a better movie. It also came out after Alien Romulus, which again is a better movie. You're seeing people who are like, hey, you could go watch Beetlejuice, 30 years in the making. You could go watch Alien Romulus, the first good alien movie since Aliens, or you could go watch this year's Transformers movie. And it's like, man, I saw Transformers last year. I saw Transformers 2 years before that. I've been watching Transformers since 2007. I don't need to go see the new Transformers movie, especially when they're making piss, shit, and fart jokes in the trailer. I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, I disagree with the film has no sauce element.
Oh, yeah. No, it
Um,
has sauce. It does got sauce.
yeah.
These guys look good.
Yeah, it looks, the rendering, the lighting, maybe if it was like flat colors or something.
The lighting
Like,
is great.
when I first saw it, I kind of low-key thought about that Robots movie. But the more of it I saw, the more I liked it, and I really like how it looks now. I like the designs and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this person is just applying their personal opinion onto why Transformers failed, which I've seen a lot of people do recently.
I think that's weird that it didn't just worldwide release, that they're staggering it. I almost wonder if that's to help with recouping costs.
Give me 1 sec, nah.
Okay.
Nah, I almost shit myself.
Oh my god.
I made it though. Yeah, movie, good. Go watch it. Are we done?
I think we're done. Let me pull it back over to the main screen here. But yeah, so that was Hot Takes 3.
I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Hot take and other stuff.
I guess leave your hot takes down below. Whether or not I actually do a hot takes for it's up in the air. I kind of hate these videos, I'll be real.
You should. I think it's funny. They get views. They get more views than usual.
I do it for the money.
Yeah, do it for the money. That's what I do.
But yeah, so leave them down below so that way I have more content for the next one. YouTube thinks you'll like this video over here. Big thanks to Dumb Jake for joining me on this one.
Yeah.
Go check out his channel and subscribe. Not that he needs it.
Watch my podcast. That's what I care about more.
Oh yeah,
Kibble
watch the podcast. Watch Bat Kibble. Link in the description. Don't forget to support the Patreon, and we'll see you in the next one.
Ooh, it
This
stinks not.
this has been Bots Obsession.